Hi there, Nathan. I saw your camera and I asked if you would like a few tips to begin with. First of all, you are starting off good. It's a nice looking camera, but of course we all learn all day, every day. So a few tips I noticed on your camera that I would like to point out that is very easy to fix if you know what you're doing. And a small detail that also one of the others has commented in your picture. First of all, I notice here you have your fine camera here. As you see up here, you have a rounded corner, but your corner is kind of distorted. And this is because you have made your box, you have scaled your box, but you have not applied the scale to the box. And that means you're going to get a distorted bevel up here, and I would like to show you how this happens and how to fix it. So let's open up a version of Blender here, because there's some stuff that is going on due to scale in Blender, which affects a lot of the stuff you do inside Blender. And one of them in particular is beveling. Like if we have the box here and we would like to shape this as we see the top of your camera here, you have the same problem here as you have here. Then I try to shape this by scaling it and scaling it like this. Something similar to this perhaps. Now if I go up here, I have some mighty fine corners. But if I go into edit mode and select this and try to bevel, you'll see, just like on your camera, the bevel is kind of distorted. Let's take a look at your camera. You see, your bevel is distorted. That is because you have scaled the model. If you go into normal mode here and click item, you can see you have to scale here. It's not 1, 1, 1. So what you do here is, let's take a copy of this, move it a little bit over here and a little bit over here. Then we take this one here and just bevel it like we did before. This one over here, I click Ctrl A and then apply either scale or all transformation. When I do that, you see my scale reset to 0. And then if I go to bevel this one, you will see I get a mighty fine round bevel. You see the difference? And that is one of the small things I noticed on your camera that you easily are able to fix if you know how. The next thing is that one points out is beveling. As you see on your camera here, you have a very, very hard edge here. And I know the camera have hard edges, but in real life, if you zoom close enough, you will realize that everything has a little bit of rounding, a little bit. What you do, if you do add the bevel like that, you will get a little bit more realism to your model. It will seem a little more real, but it will also catch light quite different on the edge. If we take these two here, or we just take this, try to rotate. Let's see if we can fix this. This one I delete, we don't need that anymore. And let's try add an HDRI shader for the environment. Let's go to worlds and drag out environment texture. And let's go get some HDR. Let's take. Where is my, there we go. Let's take this one. We have now added that as a background. You cannot see it, but it is there, as you see. And it will cause some light and some reflections to the scene. I have a little problem with this mirror ball, but let's start worry about that right now. We can then take the inside here. Let's take the top, insert that, pull it up, insert that, pull it up. Just to give the model some extra detail, I will then apply a material to it. Let's say we have objects, and let's give it a tad of shine, bit of metallic, and let's throw a smooth shade on it. It's smooth and it is going all berserk, and that's because of the angles. I then go down here and set my normal to auto smooth, and all is fine again. Let's try turn this down a bit so you easier can see. What you have now is your very sharp edges, like you have here on front of the camera. Very sharp edges everywhere around. But you can see if I take this and then give it a little bit of bevel, can you see how all of a sudden it catches the light? With this does not, and this does not, but this catches the light quite different. You see here? And that also adds to the realism of your model and how the light display the materials on the model, which is going to make it a lot more realistic. Of course, I made the side of the bevel here visible, but also if you just add a little bit, let's make this, you see, just a little bit of bevel. It adds to the realism and how good the model looks. You see here again, no highlights here, but highlights here, catching the lights and the reflections in the scene. And those two small tips can make wonders for your models. So go ahead, try. Remember to apply scale every time, and then use some small bevels around. I hope you find this helpful out there, both you, Nathan, and some of the other guys looking.